Yo, time to wake 'em up!
Bonjour et bienvenue sur Discover 360. J'espère que cette chaîne vous plaira. Elle est consacrée à l'intelligence artificielle, au voyage et à la tech.
Yo, check the mic, 1, 2.
N'oubliez pas de souscrire. Bonne écoute.
Next cipher begin!
All right, today we're going to dive into the story of an AI tool that hit a massive wall and then smashed right through it. We are talking about STRIDE GPT, a tool that sits at the fascinating crossroads of AI and cybersecurity. And trust me, its journey from a cool idea to a total game changer tells us a lot about the future of building secure software.
So if you're anywhere near software development, this question probably feels a little too real. You know the drill. Figuring out potential security threats is absolutely vital, but man, it is so often this slow, manual headache that just can't keep up with how fast we build things today.
Just so we're all on the same page, the framework at the heart of this whole story is called STRIDE. It's a tried and true method for spotting different types of threats, things like spoofing or tampering. It gives security teams this really powerful structured checklist, but the key word there is manual. And that one word, manual, that's where all the trouble starts. Doing threat modeling the old way takes a ton of time, and you pretty much need a security guru to do it right. In the world of nonstop development, that just doesn't work. You get inconsistent results, and it creates the exact kind of bottleneck STRIDE GPT was born to destroy.
So enter STRIDE GPT. The idea behind it was so simple but so powerful. What if we could use a large language model to do all that heavy lifting for us? You just describe your app and boom, the AI spits out a detailed threat model. It saves a ton of time and makes security expertise accessible to way more people.
Okay, but this is where the story takes a turn. The first versions of the tool were built on the easiest thing to get your hands on, public AI models from the big cloud providers. And yeah, they were powerful, but they came with some serious strings attached. And you can see how fast things were moving. The project was adding support for all these different models and cloud services, trying to find one that was consistent and reliable, but all this jumping around from one API to another, turns out that was just a symptom of a much, much bigger problem.
And wow. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? This little note from the changelog is so telling. For the tool to actually work, it needed the data to be in a perfect, structured format called JSON. But the cloud models, they were all over the place. You'd ask for a threat model and get back gibberish the computer couldn't even understand.
So the project basically hit a wall. It was constantly fighting with bad formatting, getting slowed down by API limits, and this is the big one. Its entire design relied on sending potentially sensitive info about an application to some third-party cloud. For any serious company, that's a total deal breaker.
So things were looking kind of bleak, but then came the first big aha moment. The developers realized that, to really get a handle on an application's threats, you need more than just a text description. You have to be able to see the whole picture.
And that led to this, a multimodal approach. Suddenly, you could just upload your actual architecture diagram. The AI could literally see how your system was built, how the data flowed, and that led to way smarter, more accurate threat models.
Now, this was a huge leap forward in what the tool could do. But think about it for a second. Now you weren't just sending text to the cloud. You were sending your system's actual blueprints. That core problem of data security didn't just go away. It actually got worse.
And that brings us to the climax of the story, the breakthrough. If sending your data out to the cloud was the problem, well, the solution was obvious. Stop sending the data. Instead, bring the AI to the data.
I mean, just look at the difference here. This shift to running models locally is a complete game changer. Your confidential data never leaves your network. You don't have to worry about external limits. You have total control. It even works completely offline. This single change solved every single problem they were having with the cloud.
This breakthrough became a reality when they integrated Ollama, which is a super popular way to run these big AI models on your own hardware. Then they added support for LM Studio. This was huge. For the very first time, you could tell STRIDE GPT, hey, use the AI that's running right here on my own private server.
So what does this all mean? It means this shift to local AI transformed STR GPT from just a clever side project into a real enterprise-ready tool. Companies in finance or healthcare or government, anybody who is super serious about data privacy could finally use it safely.
And once they solved that massive, fundamental security problem, Development just exploded. The team could stop worrying about just making the tool work and could start focusing on making it unbelievably powerful.
They started adding features that were way beyond what they first imagined. The tool could now scan entire GitHub repositories for context. It could use dread risk scoring to help you figure out which threats to fix first. It could even generate Gherkin test cases, which basically means it writes out security tests for you in plain English. How cool is that?
And you know who really loved this new direction? The open source community. The project now has well over 600 stars on GitHub, which is a huge thumbs up. It shows that this journey, from a cool idea through some major failures to a secure breakthrough, created something people genuinely want and need.
So this all brings us to one final big question. The story of STR GPT is bigger than just one tool, right? It's kind of a preview of a much larger trend. As we bake AI into all of our most important work, is its real future and security not up in the cloud, but right here, on our own secure local machines? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for watching.